What is your best chuckles I'm in danger story? What happened? I used to work in a group home. I was working a night shift and one of the residents was pacing by his room. I asked him what he was doing. He went into his room quickly. I assumed he was on meth since that's what he liked doing. Thought not much of it until a few hours goes by. I go to get some water and heat up my food, and he is standing in the hallway. Again, I ask him how he's doing and try to check in with him. This guy starts speaking in some made-up language in a loud whisper. Think Harry Potter talking to the basilisk. He then takes like 4 steps slowly toward me, then stops. He says I can't stop him forever. I say fuck this, call police for his and everyone else in the house's safety. Police show up and talk to him for a bit in private. One officer comes back to my office and says yeah, he's not himself right now. Said the date was May 50, 2100. It was January. And 2015. They took him away. They also found and took a pocket knife off of him and gave it to me for safekeeping. Now if that wasn't already fucked up, I went back on the security footage and I saw him stand outside of my office door, outside my view, for like 30 minutes without me realizing. Standing fucking still, like in Paranormal Activity. I checked the camera from when he was speaking the weird language, and he was standing there for like 20 minutes heavy breathing before I walked by. 2 weeks goes by and he's released from the hospital sober and mentally present again. He decided to move out of the house. He came by to grab his stuff, and pulled me aside to apologize. I forgave him and tried to brush it off. But he looks me in the eyes and said that he was planning on killing me that night for a blood sacrifice since he was seeing some crazy shit and he believed a demon was controlling him. But the police ruined his plan. I kept the knife as a morbid souvenir. Went out for a drink with a pretty girl I got talking to on a bus. She was a bit awkward, but seemed kinda fun. She kept talking about her roommate and the crazy hijinks they got up to. She even joked that we would have a threesome if I went back to her place. We went back to hers. At which point I found out that her roommate was a Barbie doll that she talked to like it was a real person. Her place clearly hadn't been cleaned for years, and the toilet was full of green matter. The final straw for me was when I stepped on her cat's corpse. I honked at the car in front of me to go. The light was green. The dude shot me the bird in his side mirror, probably because I startled him when he was distracted on his phone, and because honking is inherently annoying, so I honked again. I was starting to get mad and he was too. I could tell by his tail lights that he put the car in park. Then the driver's door opened. I was like, here we go. But then the biggest man I've ever seen stepped out. All those never back down thoughts I had imagined in my head vanished. I chuckled to myself as the word fuck escaped my mouth. I had just enough room to reverse and get the fuck out of there. I honked again for good measure. Long ago, a friend of mine used to traffic weed down into US where we lived. He would buy it off a pair of Native Americans living on a reservation bordering Canada. I decided to go along for the ride once, bravely disregarding the stories passed on of these guys firing automatic weapons and border patrol. No clue if this was actually the case or not. When we got to their compound I had to wait in the car for about 15-20 minutes while my friend's partner explained to them how I'm cool and not in it. It was as I was waiting in the car that it occurred to me that if these guys decided that they didn't like the look of me they could just kill me and nobody would ever find me. In the end, they were cool. Ended up being invited into their cabin, which incidentally had a bunch of automatic weapons hanging on the wall. Ended up smoking a J with one of the Native Americans while he showed off his shiny new twin locks.